Welcome to Compassion India Bulletin number 1. The magazine features interviews with vegan people who will share unique insights into their life and their world. Meet our guest of today, Deena Ahani, vegan advocate and an activist based in UK. She shares how she connects with other sentient mothers on the occasion of Mother's Day.
So, hi friends. Today I have a very special guest with me, and she is Deena from UK, all the way. Thank you very much, Deena, for agreeing to be with us today. So, let me start with my first questions. The question is, how is the vegan awareness changed now during the COVID pandemic time?
Thank you, Dr. Rupa, for inviting me, and hello to everyone. The COVID-19 has created really unprecedented times across the world for everyone. I've noticed a sort of change in some of the people that I am speaking to, a change in their consciousness. And I believe part of the reason for that is because we have been given no choice but to stop and to slow down and to become a little bit more aware of our habits and our choices, particularly food choices. And some of the people that I am speaking to are becoming more and more open to looking at and reviewing what it is that they put in their mouth and what energy that food has, which is really quite promising to see, particularly for vegans here, because the COVID-19 has meant that it's created this space for people to have no choice but to look and to evaluate this. Also, I think one thing that is definitely happening is a lot of the menus in restaurants and cafes, they are expanding, really expanding their vegan choices, which is really, really promising again, because I think even restaurants and cafes are becoming more aware that they have to provide these choices. I think at the beginning, when COVID was sort of in the media a lot around March time, there was of course a lot of reports about the crisis stemming from the consumption and the misuse and ill treatment of animals in the wet markets. And that, unfortunately, the media haven't really brought that out to light as much. And I wish that was more talked about in the media, because from my awareness, from what I've seen, it was in the media at the beginning and now it has fallen away. And I think maybe what is going to happen is once COVID settles, they will investigate properly where has this pandemic come from, and then they will realize that every time we have a pandemic, every time it has stemmed from animals, and hopefully people will become so much more aware of their choices. So many people are growing their own vegetables and growing their own food as well, so that is definitely very promising.
Fantastic. Also, Deena, you are a vegan mom, and how do you kind of connect with the other moms of all the species, and how do you have the learning between mom and their babies of all the species?
That's a really nice and a very important question, actually. Before I became a mom, and my son is 18 months young, but even before he came to Earthside, I always felt a sort of internal maternal closeness to children, to babies. But I particularly felt it with animals. And then when I actually had my son, that feeling that I had inside exploded. And in fact, I will give you an example of just a moment of where I felt this so acutely. My son was 3 weeks old. I had literally just given birth 3 weeks ago, and I was giving my first talk on the realities of the dairy industry. And I had him wrapped up in a sling on me. And I was giving my talk here in the UK. And the talk normally lasts for 45 minutes. And in the talk, I show a couple of videos as well. Now, one of the videos that I show is of a farmer going into a farm, and he's picking up the calf from the mother and taking the calf away. And the video shows the cow, the mother, chasing the farmer, chasing the truck. Okay, and I show this video. And just at that point, it was as if the universe had just timed this perfectly. Just at that point, when I was about to show this video, my son, Ilan, started crying. Okay, so I took him out of the sling and I gave him over to my mum. So my mum took him out of the room, and I could hear him crying outside. And just as this was happening, exactly at the same time, I was playing this video of a farmer taking away the baby. And my baby was crying and was with my mother. So I knew that my baby was okay, my baby was going to be fine. But it was so acutely similar in the physical sense of another mother's baby being taken away. Now, I was trying to give this talk, and I could hear my son crying outside, and I was struggling. I have done this talk hundreds of times. Okay, I've done it hundreds of times, but because I could hear him crying outside, I was struggling to talk, because all I wanted was to pick him up, take him in my arms, and put him on me. Now, if I felt that as a new mother, imagine what other mothers are going through when their babies are either taken away from them or killed at birth, separated. I mean, the dairy cow who, bears her child for 9 months, has that maternal bond, and without her even knowing and realizing, some other mammal, a human, is taking her baby away. I couldn't imagine ever inflicting that sort of pain on another mother. And so for me, when I was giving that talk and I could hear my son crying outside, I just thought, gosh, this is this hard for me, and I know that in 10 minutes I will be able to pick him up and I will be able to console him. None of the other mothers in the non-human, the animal kingdom, can do that.